very much for joining us. Antoine Blanchard is here from Bordeaux and is very keen to talk with us, and we are as keen as you are to talk with you about all things citizen science and networks, and we're very keen particularly to hear you talking about your efforts to build an app to crowdsource MRI annotation. So I think you can introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about you if you wish, and then move to your presentations and questions, and people can talk. Okay. It's very informal, but I hope it works. Okay. Thank you very much.
So indeed I'm here on a 3-day visit from the University of Bordeaux. So the purpose of this visit is to meet as many people as possible on the kind of topics and projects that I deal with in Bordeaux, to get inspired, to exchange practice, to learn about best practice as well. And so what I do in the University of Bordeaux, I'm in charge of a portfolio of projects, mostly digital projects, which run from digital tools for learning, innovative learning, to digital tools for research and around scholarly communication, open access, all that. And also we're also looking after public outreach. And the project that I will present is actually at the crossroads between the digital tools for research and public outreach. So I will tell you a bit more how this came. So there are two purposes to this meeting. One is to tell you a bit more about our project and get your feedback and have some chat about that. And also I would like to learn how you work as a network of people interested in this topic, and I'm sure this is something we could organize in Bordeaux as well. So I'd like very much to know more about what you do and how things are going. So the project is called Spine. So this is a tool that is originally it's a tool that's been used in research labs in neurology, and it's a tool originating from University of Harvard. So we are collaborating with the researcher who developed the tool, Charles Gutman, at the hospital, which is a research affiliate of Harvard, University of Harvard. And Charles is a visiting professor at the University of Bordeaux, so we have close collaborations. I say we, but I should say he has close collaborations with the researchers in the university. I'm not a researcher myself, I'm more like a project manager. And so the tool that he has developed, Spine, is really being used by researchers to annotate MRIs. So when they run a research like on a cohort, they have hundreds and thousands of MRI images, and working, for instance, on neurodegenerative diseases, they need to find, as we call them, biomarkers of the disease in the brain, like structures which are pathological structures, or whose size is pathological, and then they can track the evolution of these structures and see whether it correlates with the other symptoms or the obvious symptoms of the diseases. And while collaborating with the University of Bordeaux, he came up with the idea of opening this tool to the public, because annotating these MRI images takes a lot of time. So it's mostly postdoc time at the moment, and it doesn't require a big expertise. Once you learn to recognize the structures, what is normal, what is pathological, then almost anyone can do it. So he came up with the idea of creating a tool to crowdsource this MRI annotation. Nothing spectacular. Well, I think it's something that's really in the air. But so we took the challenge for us. It was a good pilot on first doing crowdsourcing in citizen science at a big scale, not something. I mean, I know I'm meeting with a researcher next week who has tried a couple of things, and I'm sure I will meet more and more now if we try to really establish a network of researchers doing citizen science. But now we really wanted to make that a core. To at least make an example of what we could do within the University of Bordeaux around this idea. So we talked about how this could look like, this crowdsourcing app. One thing which looked interesting was to do it on tablets, so that annotating is mostly segmentation, as we call it. So you have to contour the structures, and this could easily be done on a tactile tablet. So it looked like a good interface for doing this kind of work. Probably more laid back, more relaxed than in front of your computer. And the second thing was to try to do a game out of it, so to make it more engaging and more addictive also for players. So last year we've worked with a gamification consultant during two months who ran workshops to try to really get a sense of what the game would be, for whom, what are the game mechanisms, the game levels, the game awards, all this kind of the gaming experience that you would get. So that's one thing, and then we had a pretty good idea of what the game would look like, or could offer, and so then we contracted a team of developers to develop the game. So the stage where we are now is we will be launching the game in end of September. There is a Europe-wide event called the European Researchers' Night. That's a good event because it's a public outreach in kind of a different environment. It's at night or evening and night. People are in different setting, even the researchers. So we thought it was good to try to engage the public around the game. And so this is our kind of final deadline. And in between, in 2 weeks' time, we'll have like a first demo of the tool in Austria, because there's a conference of the Excite network. Excite is all the science museums from around Europe getting together. So and they have a session called the Game Lab, where everyone's invited to really prototype and test and exchange ideas around games in science outreach. And for us it's good because there will be many professionals of science outreach who know their public, who know whether this game could actually work or not with the end users. So what we are targeting with the game is people between 12 and 35 years, so rather young public, and this is the kind of atmosphere we wanted to give to color we wanted to give to the game, but obviously it's not restricted to them, and we think that what works for them will also work for others. We're especially looking at the patients and patients' families and everyone who's concerned by these neurodegenerative diseases.